Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Room for Everybody. Today we have Katie here speaking with us. So, Katie, would you mind sharing a little bit about the identities that you hold?
Okay. Well, I am a person with a language impairment and learning disabilities. My learning disabilities are in written communication, reading comprehension, and math. And I was diagnosed at the age of 3 with a language impairment and at 5 with learning disabilities. And when I was 3 years old, I was nonverbal. The only way my parents and teachers tried to get me to communicate was ignoring my pointing and gestures. They really wanted me to communicate because the only way I knew how to communicate was through my body language. I would throw myself to the ground, almost lunging and hitting my head when I was frustrated. And when I was excited, I would jump up and down and have a big smile on my face. And I didn't say my first full sentence until I was 5 years old. And to this day, I wish I knew what that sentence was. And as I was growing up in preschool, I didn't really have many friends. My only friends were my brother Alan and my cousins and my Cabbage Patch doll Faye Ronnie at the time. And then I met my first friend in kindergarten, and then it just kind of I flourished meeting other people with disabilities, and we became friends.
Wow, thank you for sharing
Mhm,
all of that with us. That's really an interesting journey. I liked what you were saying that you were able to communicate through your body, and I wish the adults
mhm.
around you would have been able to recognize that and respond better to you at
Yes.
that time. So, where are you at now? What are you doing with your life?
Right now, I am a paraprofessional for children with special needs. I help support elementary age students in their general education classes, in their special education classes. And right now, with my life, I am also working on writing a book about my life story. And speaking of rooms and stuff and all that, I need to step away from my house to go to like coffee houses and restaurants that have Wi-Fi. It's a little distracting at home with the TV and two dachshunds. So I've been trying to get out of the house and write, and I feel it's better to write somewhere away from home. I feel like get more a lot more accomplished, and I even go to the library and sometimes it's quiet and calming so I
Mhm.
can get my thoughts down on paper.
Yes, definitely. I know I've heard from various writers their preferred spot that has exactly what they need, and it is often outside of the home. I think I would be
Mm,
very tempted to nap or watch
mm,
TV or
mhm.
do almost anything else. Like it requires
Yes.
a lot of focus. Going back to what you were saying about working with special needs students, what can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I support children from kindergarten through 5th, and I support them in their general education classes and also their special education classes.
Mhm.
And in their classrooms, they're both classrooms, the general education classroom and the special education classrooms, they have calming corners to where the students can go in that corner and chill and relax their bodies to be able to come back to learning.
Yeah, that sounds very important. I wish that even adults had calming corners. I think that
Mm,
sometimes we need a break and a space to decompress and calm down.
yes.
Did you feel like growing up you had any spaces like that where you felt calm and comfortable?
Not in particular in my growing up in my preschool to high school years. Well, I didn't really feel that I had a room that I could comfortably go to. When I was in starting college, I had a best friend's mom who helped supported me with some of my classes, and just going to her house and knowing that it was a calm, distraction-free zone, I was able to get through all of my classes.
Mhm. Yeah, that's wonderful. I love these three kind of spaces that you brought up, like where you go for writing, where
Hmm.
students go to calm down, where you felt comfortable. I think that it really highlights how different spaces can interact with our different needs at times. Like, you don't just have one space that you're in all the time doing the same thing. You need
Hmm.
different, almost like zones, to be able to move through the world effectively.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool. Are there any other things that you've seen in the classroom that either help your students or seem to be overly distracting?
To help them, students is like a token system to help guide them and keep them on track,
Mhm.
as well as them just observing their other classmates and peers.
Yeah, definitely. Does it feel a little bit like a full circle moment for you to be in that position where you're now helping students?
Yes, it is becoming a full circle because when I grew up, I didn't really receive the self-advocacy skills I needed and was taught until I was a junior in high school. So I wanted to come like full circle and teach the elementary school kids that those skills at that age so that when they grow up, they're not stuck and be like, okay, what do I do? Who can I ask for help? How do I get the support that I needed?
Definitely. I think it's really important and beautiful work that you're doing. So thank you for doing that. Are there things that you, if you could kind of go back and talk to the adults that were around you, what do you wish you could have told them?
I wish I could have told them and asked them to give me like some suggestions or some scenarios on self advocacy so that I could advocate for myself when I was growing up in elementary and middle school. Those are the years that are the most important to for learning. I mean, high school is too, but didn't learn those skills until I was a junior, and I wish I learned them a lot sooner so that maybe I could have gotten more support with like especially my math classes
Hmm.
and science classes in school.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like self advocacy is something that I'm still working on, would be helpful for many children to learn because it's very hard to say, this is what I need. And it's great when that's received well, but it is really challenging when people are not listening to you.
And I also felt in those classrooms in elementary and middle school, I felt that I would the teachers probably thought like I was shy and quiet and that, but they no one really tried to open me up and bring me out of my shell
Hmm.
to show them that I can communicate and get my needs met.
Right. Yes. If you were helping someone learn how to advocate for themselves, what would you tell them is kind of the first step?
The first step is just to speak up for yourself and just ask for help if there's something that you don't understand in school. Ask your teacher. I mean, they're the most important people that could help answer questions. And then also um advocating for yourself. You'll get to the place, it'll lead you to places that you want to be successful at.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Katie. I feel like you've shared a lot of insightful things for our audience today. Is there anything else that you would like to share as we close?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dear listener, thank you for joining me on today's episode. This podcast is produced by Eden Environments, an inclusive and sustainable interior design firm. Our human-centric design strategy creates spaces that are fat and neurodivergent friendly, trauma-informed, and sustainable. If that sounds like what you need, contact me through Eden's website to get started. For the latest updates, sign up for emails and follow along on your favorite social media platform. And until we meet again, I wish you gentle days.